Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we're wrapping up our Hallmark Hall of Fame Christmas series with November Christmas, which originally aired in 2010 on CBS.
I gotta tell you, I'm happy Christmas in July is over.
Are you?
Even the Hall of Fame ones. It's been a hard month.
Yes. I think you've been saying that every month of 2026.
That is not true.
You don't think it's true?
No, I don't think it's true.
Okay.
No, you know what? I saw a movie poster for Missing the Boat with Chris Palaha. And I was like, that was earlier this year. And I was like, I really enjoyed that movie this year.
You mean it's been a hard month movie-wise?
No, you're right. It's been It's been a hard year in general.
Yeah.
You're right. I thought you were referring to movies.
No. There's been some winners this year for sure.
Yeah. I try to take my job here as a movie review podcaster seriously. I want to do a good job. But when the movies are not great, it makes it hard to do. It makes it, kind of a slog.
Oh, no, that concerns me for today's review a little bit.
Oh, you have to have no concern.
Oh, good. While Christmas in July may have come to an end here on Girls Gone Hallmark and is winding down the last few days of re-airs over on the Hallmark Channel, we're about to roll right into Fall into Love and Countdown to Christmas and all these new movie announcements. And I tell you that because you should be following us over on Girls Gone Hallmark so you know what we're going to be reviewing, because I know a lot of you like to watch ahead so that you can listen to movies that you've already watched. So you should be following us on Instagram where we are Girls Gone Hallmark.
That's right. God, I can't believe we're already here. I know it's summer's not even quite over, but
I know, but do you understand? I was telling you on Patreon yesterday where I'm like, well, it's basically Christmas.
Yeah. I'm going to have to mentally prepare myself. I don't know. I need to get into fighting shape. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
The next 3 weeks, apparently. Oh, it's going to be a interesting rest of 2026, everybody. Buckle up. Buckle up. Hey, are you ready to finish off Christmas in July with a synopsis for November Christmas?
I sure am.
November Christmas tells the story of a small community coming together to give a family more time with their young daughter who is battling a serious illness. With the help of a kind-hearted farmer and an entire town willing to believe in a little magic, it's a story about hope, generosity, and making every moment count.
The film is directed by Robert Harmon, whose credits range from the cult classic The Hitcher to the popular Jesse Stone TV movie franchise.
Are you familiar with Jesse Stone?
I am not.
I'm not either. I think it is, why is Richard from Friends coming to mind?
Oh, Magnum P.I. himself?
It is.
Oh, look
Tom
at you.
Selleck. Yeah, Tom Selleck. I mean, I've never once seen these movies. Or I bet they're on CBS. Don't you think so?
Totally.
Penina Goldstein wrote the script. She also penned Christmas with Holly and Loving Leah, both Hallmark Hall of Fame movies.
Sam Elliott stars as Jess. His legendary career spans more than 5 decades, including The Big Lebowski, Tombstone, and A Star is Born.
John Corbett stars as Tom. He's best known for Northern Exposure, Sex and the City, and My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Sarah Paulson plays Beth. This role came years before her Emmy-winning turn in The People vs. O.J. Simpson and her run on American Horror Story.
Karen Allen plays Claire. She's best known for starring opposite Harrison Ford as Marion in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Emily Alyn Lind stars as Vanessa. This was an early role for the actress who would later lead HBO Max's Gossip Girl reboot.
November Christmas premiered on November 28, 2010 on CBS, and it drew in an impressive 13.5 million viewers in its original broadcast.
Goodness.
Wow.
Hey, Wendy, what was your first impression of November Christmas?
Hallmark Hall of Fame is back, baby!
I'm so glad to hear that first impression. My first impression is, once again, we have proved that some movies are not SSRI proof.
Oh my gosh. I told you off mic, but my husband came upstairs and he's like, are you crying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
You would be too.
And I was like, and then the whole town, and then the Christmas lights.
Oh, the Christmas lights when they turn down the street.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh my gosh, from the Christmas hater herself.
I know.
Okay, so I do want to say, based on your first impression, it seems like you did enjoy this movie.
I thought it was really, really good.
Now, Hallmark Hall of Fame as a whole, to me, this was absolutely my favorite of the bunch.
Of that we've watched and reviewed here? Or
Of the Christmas.
Oh, of the Christmas. Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to think a little bit harder in terms of the whole collection that we've reviewed, just because I'm a little bit removed from those others. But absolutely, this was the best of the 4 holiday movies that we did for me. Overall, what are your thoughts on Hallmark Hall of Fame movies? And does that differ from your thoughts on the Christmas movies?
Well, I don't think we had like a proper sampling of Hallmark Hall of Fame Christmas movies. The 4 we chose were kind of all over the board. I stand firm in saying that I do believe Hallmark Hall of Fame movies are heads and tails above like our regular Hallmark Saturday night movie. In terms of Christmas, though, it's hard to summarize if I think they're better, just because I just think our sampling was off.
Yeah, I think this movie goes back to what we were saying about Hallmark Hall of Fame in general, is that they tend to be a cut above the standard Hallmark fare.
I remember we got an email last week too, and they were like, oh, I just watched November Christmas and it's not very Christmassy. I'm worried, but it has Sam Elliott. And for me, I was locked in on this movie the entire time. Like, never looked at my phone once. Like, I was in it. And for me, yes, while not Christmassy, and I'm air quoting, there was a feeling, a magic that I want from a Christmas movie. So it did tick that Christmas box for me without like being so literal, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It does have that Christmas magic feeling. And also there's this sense that they're building toward Christmas in a very meaningful way. So this did feel Christmassy enough to me. I don't have any complaints about that. But let's talk specifically what you liked about this movie.
Well, first of all, I can't believe it aired back in 2010. It's almost 16 years old. I'm like, it still holds up today. Don't you think so?
Yes.
Like, they could air new premiere and still be relevant and good, I thought. For me personally, I know you're going to say this. Maybe you're not going to say the same thing, but Sam Elliott is the emotional center of this movie. I told you when my husband walked by, he's like, oh, that guy's a good actor. And I'm like, yeah, dummy. I know he is. Like, I think he watches, like, what are those shows? Those, like...
Oh, yeah, the Taylor Sheridan shows.
Yeah, he watches those. He's like, oh, yeah, that guy's good. I was like, he has, like, a career that spans decades. He probably only knows him from those Taylor Sheridan shows. But
my husband loves Sam Elliott as well. The series The Ranch he watched purely for Sam Elliott, and I was like, Sam Elliott's in this movie. He didn't watch it with me. He's like, I know, I've seen it. I watched it just for him. So, I mean, put him in everything. He's so good.
He's so good. But what I loved about it, like, yes, the story is about Vanessa and her illness, but to me, it's not just simply that. Like, it's about Jess, their character of Jess and his wife, who have been like carrying around this grief for years and years and years. And it's like he's slowly finding his way back to like being with people. And it just was like so good. Like, the man barely raises his voice the entire movie, but his character is so compelling.
Oh, I love that. You know, you basically took the notes right off of my page saying this. Yes, it's about Vanessa, but they really dive into these storylines. I think Jess and his wife, they go the deepest, but we learn about Tammy's story with her uncle, and they develop that just enough for me to care about her. And then we have Teddy and Sarah. They did a nice job of developing these side supporting characters to make it a very rich experience for the town.
Who's Teddy and Sarah?
Teddy is Jess's friend.
It's Susan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Susan.
His like new chick.
Yeah. Anyway.
Suddenly Susan. Remember that show?
I do. Brooke
Golly.
Shields?
Yeah. Why isn't she in any Hallmark movies?
I think she is, actually.
She has been?
Well, I don't know. I made that up. I kind of think 3 films for the Hallmark Network in 2016. Hey. She headlined the Flower Shop Mystery movie franchise.
Oh.
Mum's the Word, Snipped in the Bud, and Dearly Depotted.
Snipped in the Bud is too funny.
Dearly Depotted?
Yeah, that's hilarious. There's only 3? Oh my gosh, maybe we should watch those. 2027, baby. Yeah, I really like this movie. There are 2 scenes that absolutely wrecked me. Can I share what they were?
Please.
One where Beth is like, she and her husband, Tom, they're like, I don't know, laying on the bed or whatever. And she like snuggles up to him and she goes, why couldn't it have been me?
Oh.
And it killed me. Because of course, as parents, like when your child is hurting, you would trade places with them in a heartbeat, right? It just was so good. And then the second scene is when Jess goes and sees the Reverend and he asks for prayers for Vanessa. And the Reverend's like, hey, God hears your prayers too. And then Jess talks about like basically alluding to like when his son died, him and God haven't been on like good terms or on a regular talking basis or whatever he said. I just thought it was such a great scene.
Those are both so good. I loved that the Reverend met Jess where he was. Mm-hmm. Like he wasn't trying to push him back into church. He just was like, it's there if you need it. Some of the scenes, we talked earlier about this movie making us cry. The scene in the hospital where Jess goes to visit the parents, he goes like, I'll go sit with her. Uh-huh. Something about that like just broke me.
Really?
I don't know. He just was like, I'll go sit with her. And so they can go like have a break.
Yeah.
And saying like, we're all here for you. It wasn't the moments where they were the most worried about Vanessa that made me cry. It was the moments where people showed up for them.
Yeah.
When Jess started to realize when he says like, they're moving up the timeline. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just got chills. And then, of course, when they turn down that town street, I have chills thinking about it. And the entire thing is decorated for Christmas. Like all of these people. Oh my gosh.
Well, even when they show up at their house for the Halloween party and it's all the kids and they're like, everybody's dressed up.
Yes.
I'm like, that is just the sweetest thing ever.
Were they expecting people for the party, though?
That's a good question. I don't know if they were just planning on it just being the 4 of them and like celebrating it as like a family or whatever. Yeah, it was unclear. It wasn't like they sent invitations out or anything,
right.
That we saw.
I do love that they spoil the movie for us right up top.
God, thank God.
Because I was telling you, I watched this first and you were like, oh, I need to like emotionally prepare myself. And I was like, it's okay. Like they let you know right up at the beginning how it ends. And then you can kind of relax and just watch the movie unfold because it's all going to be okay. It's still emotional. It's still hard to watch this family go through all of this. But like, look, we've seen 15 years from now. It's going to be okay.
Right. Yeah, I was thankful that there's no way I could have got through that entire movie with like thinking that child was going to die. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if they did do it that way, it's possible they could have had that child die.
Of course.
With this kind of movie,
Or they could have left it ambiguous. Like it could have ended with Christmas, right? And then they know like she got to be here for Christmas. And then they just let it go. They don't need to actually show anything happen, but it's implied.
Right. I'm glad they didn't do that. Mm-hmm. I am glad they didn't do that. That's it for my likes.
That's really it for my likes, too. I just love a town that comes through for people. Let's take a quick break and we'll come right back to talk about our wishes. Hey, Wendy, what did you wish for in November Christmas?
I only have one wish.
Okay.
I was invested in Tammy's storyline. Mm-hmm. Tammy, the teenage girl. And at the end of the movie, like we don't know what happens to Tammy. Am I to assume that Tammy wrote that book?
Yes, I think so, but it would have been nice if that had been made more clear.
Wasn't super clear, and I would have loved to see some sort of like Tammy reunited with Vanessa, like at that Christmas tree lot or whatever. Where they go and tag their tree, or I don't know.
Yeah, because she's such an important part of her story.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the only thing. And Tammy was going through her own like kind of like growing, you know, she had like a rough like childhood with her mom, and she's with her uncle now, and he, you know, she's growing up essentially.
You want to know that she turns out okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But that's my only wish.
This is a very character-driven story. There's not a lot of action. But because of that, it is a little bit slowly paced. And the story itself is based on a short story. And so they leaned pretty heavily on a lot of speculative silence throughout the movie. We see our characters spend a lot of time like stepping outside and looking around or processing things internally. And I think we needed to sit in that. But the undiagnosed ADHD in me did get a little bit antsy at the pace.
Oh, really? I thought it was lovely. I do hear you, though. Like, we don't get a lot of information. We see we see Jess look at the picture of who we assume is his child. And then like, a little bit later, then we hear some things. And then a little bit later, we find out like why he's been beefing with Teddy and a little bit, you know, it was just like doled out. But I hear you.
This movie leaves a lot unsaid. Like there is a lot, which is okay. I mean, we're smart enough to fill in the blanks. I kind of like, I don't think they ever once say cancer.
Oh, for Vanessa?
Yes.
They, you know, they only like reference like her platelet count
and chemo.
And chemo. So
because this is a 16-year-old movie, I think if you were to make the same movie, you know, we've dumbed down this kind of movie making for distracted audiences. So I think there's a lot of inferences to draw in terms of, I mean, Jess does apologize to his friend Teddy. We have to draw the conclusion prior to that moment that there's some sort of something going on between these guys. Like, nobody ever says like, well, we're not friends anymore.
And I am to assume is because Teddy's wife was killed in that car accident too?
No.
Are you sure?
Well, no. My understanding was that they had lost their son and then Teddy's wife died and he said we didn't have anything left to give. Like, so he was like so deep in his grief for his son that he couldn't show up for Teddy when his wife died.
Okay, that's fair. But I assumed for some reason that Teddy's wife was killed in that car accident too.
Interesting. Why would Teddy's wife have been driving their son back from
I don't know.
a hockey tournament?
That's a good question. I don't know. Because when Jess tells Tammy when they're on the rock, like what happens, he was like, my son and the driver died instantly. And so I don't know. I just assumed Teddy's wife was the driver for some reason.
Well, please email us hello@girlsgonehallmark.com because I cannot say for sure. Maybe if we read the short story, we would know the answers to that.
Perhaps. And I swear there was one scene too where Jess looks like he was like opening bills or something and was like rubbing his forehead, like, and then nothing came of that.
Yes. Like, were we going to learn that the farm was in trouble or was just like a standard day in the life situation? You got to pay those bills.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they never allude to the fact that things are hard for them.
Not that I picked up.
Harder than anybody else running a farm.
Right.
Well, let's talk. Did you see that?
I only have one.
Okay.
Jess is drinking a beer and it's an O'Doul's.
Yes, I saw that too. And I wondered, I had two thoughts. One, is Jess like a recovering alcoholic? Like, did he go down like a bad path after his son died?
I don't know.
Or is it just like, we want him to be drinking out of this can and we don't want him drunk on set. So we're going to give him an O'Doul's and it looks like a beer and nobody's going to pay that close attention.
Yeah, I don't know. Except for two yahoos named Megan and Wendy in 2026.
It's in my notes too. I thought it was so funny. I have two. Did you see that? One, Tammy looks so much like Olivia Rodrigo It's
she does.
startling. And, because this is in 2010, there were so many moments I'm like, could that be her? No. Could that be her? I knew it wasn't, obviously, at the time, but she does resemble her very much. The other is I couldn't help but laugh at Tom's giant brick of a cell phone. Because, of course, when he has that, it's the movie was made in 2010, but we rewind 15 years. So it's 1995. I was like, yeah, you absolutely would have had that cell phone in 1995.
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
What did you rate November Christmas?
Almost perfect. I gave it 4.75 stars.
Wow, I give 4.25 stars.
What? Why so low?
4.25 is not a low rating.
I know. I'm just curious, what knocked it down?
Just the pacing for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Mine was because we don't know what happened to Tammy.
That's a me issue. What happened to Tammy? Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. If you love this podcast, we do really love your 5-star ratings and reviews. If you think it doesn't matter, you're wrong. It absolutely does. Help people find this podcast. New ratings bump us up in the algorithm. So head on over to the Apple Podcast app and drop your 5-star rating. And if you have an extra second, leave a quick written review. We'll be back next time with more Hallmark reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.